In this example, we're given a set of data and we're going to find the interquartile range and then give an interpretation on what that means. In this example problem, 15 people were surveyed to find out how many hours they sleep every day, and the data is in the box below. Our first step is going to be ordering the data in ascending order, so that would be from least to greatest. You can pause the video right now and try and order this from least to greatest, and then when you resume the video, you will see what the order should look like from least to greatest, and you could check your work. Once you have your data ordered from least to greatest, we now need to find the median as our first point of data. So in this problem, there are 15 people involved. So we're going to take 15 and cut it in half, or divide by 2. That gives us 7.5. And because we have 15, which is an odd number, we're going to round that 7.5 up to 8. And we're going to count to the 8th number, and that is going to be our midpoint or our median in this set of data. So in the middle there, our median is 8. And that is also known as our second quartile, or quartile 2. So we could list quartile 2 as 8. What that median does is it helps split the data in half, and the lower half of data has 7 pieces of data in it, and the upper half of data also has 7 pieces of data in it. So we're going to divide 7 by 2. That gives us 3.5. We're going to round that 3.5 to 4, and we're going to count to our 4th piece of data from left to right on both upper and lower halves. And in the lower half it is 7, so our first quartile is 7. And in the upper half it is 9.5, so our third quartile is 9.5. If we look at the lower half of data, we could again show that 7 is the median. By counting on both sides of 7, you'll see that there are 3 pieces of data on the left side of that median, and there are 3 pieces of data on the right side of that median as well. To find our interquartile range, we're going to take the third quartile and subtract the first quartile from that. And in this situation, the third quartile was 9.5, and the first quartile was 7. So when you subtract 9.5 minus 7, that leaves us with 2.5. That means that our interquartile range, or our IQR, is going to end up being 2.5 for this problem. The other thing we want to find in this example, or that we want to do in this example, is to interpret what the interquartile range is showing us. I'm going to draw a bar model here with 4 sections, and each section is going to be 25% of data, or about 25% of data. And this graphic is going to look like the one that we used for the test scores in our Understanding Interquartile Range video. What this visual does is it gives a kind of a little better breakdown of our quartiles. So in the first spot here is 7, the second quartile is 8, and our third quartile was 9.5. And what this interquartile range here shows us is the 50% piece in the middle. So for this, we could say a couple things. We could say that about 50% of the people in the survey slept between 7 and 9.5 hours. We could also say that the range from the middle 50% of people was no more than 2.5 hours.